Hey there, South Baltimore. Welcome back to the South Baltimore Now podcast. I'm your host, Nate Carper. Today, we are excited to welcome Gabe Bustos from Hector Home Services Marketing. Gabe's company is all about giving small, family-owned businesses a serious boost online. He helps everyone from roofers to plumbers get those amazing 5-star reviews that are so important, get noticed on Google, and land new jobs through smart marketing. Today, we're going to chat with Gabe about how he helps these businesses thrive and how his work is making our local economy even stronger. Let's get into it with Gabe Bustos. Gabe, what's happening, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nate. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We appreciate you jumping on. So this is keeping in our series where we're trying to feature more service-based businesses that are, out there that are trying to help our community, but maybe, not your traditional brick and mortar that you see driving down the road, but, that are really helping other businesses. If you can tell us a little bit about the origin story of Hector Home Services, how you got started, and what's going on there.
Absolutely. We are based in Baltimore. My business partner, Chris, has been a marketing nerd for about 10 years now. I joined him about 5 years ago. We were working with local businesses all around the country, but mainly here in Maryland. We were finding lots of success with local businesses. At the time, we were also working with national businesses that have a national audience versus a local business like a dentist or a plumber, which has a very local audience. And we kept seeing that as the internet and digital marketing was changing rapidly over the last 5 years, our strategies were having a lot more success for local businesses. Marketing for national businesses, B2B, is a very different approach and a very different set of skills than marketing for local businesses. We were getting tired of doing everything for everybody, constantly trying to reinvent the wheel and learn new things, and realizing that wasn't worth our time and it wasn't worth our clients' time either. We were struggling and decided to switch to just doing local businesses. We found that the quality of our services improved greatly. So we were like, let's keep going. We can have an even bigger impact if we focus further. So about a year and a half ago, we decided to start working with just home service businesses because we believe in the work that home service businesses do to support our families, homes, and communities. Since we made that switch, it's been a complete game changer. I've been in business for 10 years. It's the best business decision I've ever made because it's been such a win-win for us and our clients. Stopping to try to do everything for everybody, just picking our lane and working with what we know we can deliver on and the people we feel good about helping. I used to run several businesses in the past and found that I was very good at high quality service. I used to be a musician and I used to also run 2 education businesses. But in all 3 cases, all 3 businesses ended up failing because we couldn't figure out the marketing. I'm sure this is a relatable story where there's so many people out there listening that stand by the quality of their service and providing a great customer experience, but just haven't figured out the marketing. That's where I was in my entrepreneurial journey until about 3 years ago. I said, you know what? It was hard to find good marketers that you could trust. I'm done. I'm learning this myself, figuring it out myself. And now that's where I'm at. That's how I got into doing marketing.
Dude, that's really cool. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking and the way you approach your businesses, but that's really inspiring to hear because it sounds like you tried and failed. And that's such a great message for anybody who is trying to start a business. Sometimes you find a niche out there that can turn into a business. A pain point for you, right, was being great at what you do, but not finding the right marketing, then learning how to do that and turning that into a business. I think that is really cool.
So many people put so much emphasis into just the product and not enough into the distribution and the promotion. From my days as a musician too, it's the same thing. You spend hours and hours trying to get the perfect sound and the perfect product, and then you release it to crickets, right?
Yeah. Right.
I feel like it's a story as old as time. So that's really where we're trying to come in, is help all these great home service business owners who are delivering a great service to their people, but struggling to get found online.
So from your perspective, what makes the Baltimore area contractor market unique? Is there anything unique here that you found in other markets? Do you all serve just the Baltimore area?
So we can work with anybody in the U.S. Our service is digital, so we can do it remotely with anybody in the U.S. Most of our clients are in Maryland, just because that's where we live and that's where our network is mainly based. As far as what makes Baltimore unique, let me answer what makes certain areas unique. It's not just unique to Baltimore, but one thing that we find is we focus a lot on Google SEO, getting found, having your business rank at the top of Google Maps in particular for home service businesses, really like being in the top 3 on Google Maps. That's really where the money is. And that's where a lot of the leads come through, especially quality leads. In certain markets, in bigger metro areas, in bigger cities, like Google's very competitive, right? It's no surprise. And especially in certain industries like roofing or HVAC that are more competitive industries and whatnot, right? If you're in a competitive industry in a big city, there's limited real estate at the top. The reality is that unless you're already pretty far along and close enough to the top, you're within striking distance, then it's going to take a lot of resources for you to actually get to the top, right? It's like king of the hill. Google SEO is like king of the hill. There's 3 spots at the top. If you're in a competitive industry, a really competitive city, it's going to take a lot more resources and effort to get into there. But what we found is that in small to mid-sized cities and suburbs, think like we're here in Maryland, so Frederick, Annapolis, Columbia, or even suburbs like Towson, Glen Burnie, or Catonsville, or they're not necessarily standalone cities themselves, but they're suburbs, there's tremendous amount of opportunity for people to rank very quickly. So where we've found our niche is specifically working with family-owned businesses, like helping the little guy, right? In these small to mid-sized cities and towns, right, there's a tremendous opportunity to get to the top 3 in Google very quickly, all things considered, because you're not going up against, for example, you work in pest control. If you're in a big city, you're going up against Terminix and Orkin and these big Paramount pest control. But if you're in a smaller town like Frederick or Annapolis, those presences aren't nearly as strong there. So you can really punch up above your weight class a lot faster. And there's still thousands and tens of thousands of people there. There's still hundreds of people, thousands of people every month searching for your services. Where we've really found tons of opportunity is in businesses that are in small to mid-sized cities. That's not as saturated and you don't need as many resources to get to the top and get a return on your investment quickly.
Gabe, you guys have multiple services that you offer at Hector Home Services Marketing. Just curious, can you give us a quick overview of what those main services are?
It's mainly focused around Google marketing, right? Our main thing is lead generation and getting you qualified leads in your backyard. A lot of people that come to us end up being fed up with Angie's leads or going to home shows every week. So they come to us to build a system for them that they own, right? Angie's, you're at the mercy of them. Home shows, you're at the mercy of how well they promote and how many people show up. Versus if you build your own website and Google presence that you own, you're not at the mercy of anybody else. So that's why we really like to focus on that, because it gives people a predictable, scalable pipeline that they own themselves. So that's our main focus, is doing Google marketing, getting you to rank at the top of Google Maps. But then also some people choose, you can pay to get extra exposure. So there's a couple different Google ad products that we're experts in administering. The 2 supporting services that help make lead generation more effective are websites. So websites are a core part of SEO and your ability to build trust online and convert leads at a higher clip. And then also a CRM. That's a customer relation management software. We find that a lot of family-owned and a lot of smaller businesses often get a lot of value in having software to help them streamline and organize their leads, their pipeline, their follow-up, making it so that when you get a lead, if you can't answer the phone right away, we can automate a text message that says, hey, sorry, we couldn't answer your call right now, but we'll be with you as quick as possible. Drop us a line. Different things like that to help convert those leads into sales at a higher rate. So that's the bulk of our services. It's really built around lead generation, but there's a few things that go into supporting that to make lead generation turn into customer acquisition in a more reliable way.
Yeah, we all know how important it is to make sure you're ranking on Google, have a great website that converts. It's a lot of work. Like you mentioned before at the start of the episode, how, a lot of these small businesses, they're really great at doing what they do, whether you're a plumber, electrician, carpenter, or whatever, you're great at that skill. But marketing and doing all that back work, that's a lot to do on your own, especially if it's small businesses where everybody's already wearing multiple hats. Last question. For a homeowner, many of the folks that listen to the South Baltimore Now podcast, they might be listening to this and they're like, well, I'm not a service provider. I'm not an electrician or contractor, but they are also trying to choose a contractor and, they have work done around their house. From a marketing perspective, what's one thing that a contractor can do to immediately build trust with a potential customer?
I would say the 2 biggest things that they have control over are...
I said one thing, Gabe. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you 2. The two biggest things they have control over are getting great Google reviews. It's the most important thing people look for when trying to find a contractor. It's the most important thing people look for when trying to buy a product on Amazon, when trying to find a movie to watch and how to spend their time. Reviews are king. For a contractor, my biggest recommendation is to try to get the review while you're in person. So you provide a great service first, of course, right? You provide a great service, and then at the end, when you're closing out, what I like to recommend is before you ask for a review, to set it up and say, is there anything that I could do that would make you feel like we've gotten a 5-star service, right? Or is there anything that I haven't done that you feel like would be missing for a 5-star service? If they say, oh, actually, this would be helpful, or if they say, no, I think this has been great, then you can ask for the review right there because you've already kind of warmed them up in a genuine way, right? And also given them the opportunity to share any feedback and areas of improvement, and then getting that review right there. Reviews are king for building trust with people online, and they're king for building trust on the algorithm, getting your business to rank higher. A marketing service provider, we can't do for you, right? It's like there are ways to fake it, but I hate that. I don't think that's being honest to anybody. The second thing that I recommend is to figure out how to answer the phone right away. There's call answering services. There's different ways to figure that out. Even if you can't answer, you can set up a text message that automates back to them saying, I'm sorry, I couldn't answer. Like, I'll be with you in 10 minutes. There's different ways to do that. But if you think about the homeowner experience, most of the time what people do is they search for a chimney repair person near me. They look at who has the best reviews, who's local, who's got the most years in business, things like that. They might call 2, maybe 3, and whoever answers the phone and gives them a good experience, that's who they're going to have out to their house. Having good reviews and answering the phone with a friendly, helpful experience, that's what's going to win you business locally. And that's something every business owner and business team can control fully themselves. One thing that we offer folks is to do a lot of people offer like a free consultation. You have to jump on a call with them. But a lot of times that's a sales call. Nobody wants to jump on a sales call. So what we offer to do is if you drop us a line on our website and tell us who your business is, and we'll film a 10-minute video where we'll spend an hour or two analyzing your business, how it's ranking online, how your website is performing, what are the 2 or 3 most important things holding you back, or the most important things that you can do to jump forward quickly. And we'll film a custom video just for you, breaking all this down, giving you a clear analysis and assessment. And then if you want to chat after that, we can. But that video and assessment is free of charge. You don't have to schedule anything. You can pause it, watch it on your own time. You can share it with your business partners. So I would say that's a great way to get started with us that doesn't cost anything, doesn't cost you any money, doesn't cost you any time.
Gabe, thank you so much for jumping on today. This was awesome learning more about Hector Home Services Marketing. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for jumping on.
Thank you so much, Nate. I appreciate you and the work that you guys do at South Baltimore.